Well, hi again, everybody, and welcome to our discussion of Marvel's The Avengers. I hope you guys enjoyed the Iron Man movie, and I hope you were able to find the kind of things I was looking for in that film. I'm looking forward to see what you wrote. Iron Man is a movie where we can find a lot of ways to talk about regulatory law. Who regulates that suit that he's wearing when it's a plane? Does it get treated like any other aircraft? Would FAA regulations require him to have a tail number, file a flight plan, have international flight clearances? There's a lot of unanswered questions about the Iron Man suit and how the FAA would treat that. Then we look at Second Amendment concerns. The Iron Man suit is used as a weapon. Is that a legal weapon for a civilian to own in the United States or not? Open question that I hope you were exploring. The energy created by the arc reactor, any energy source in the United States, has to be certified for safety by the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. Did the arc reactor, either the large one at Stark Industries or the small one that Tony carries in his body, have those ever been checked for safety? Those are some of the issues I hope you were exploring in your Iron Man reflections. We're going in a totally different direction as we talk about the Avengers. Sorry, I have to clean my glasses. I can barely see you. I can't see you at all. I can barely see the camera, so you can see me. I guess that's the real problem here. We're going in a totally different direction with the Avengers movie. This is the first Avengers movie. I don't want to blow it for those of you who may not have seen it, but this is the one with Loki and the staff and the army of Chitauri that come out over the city of New York. What I want you to be looking at in this movie are a couple things. Number one, I want you to really think back to something we talked about when we did the Bill of Rights, which is the difference between civil law and criminal law. And remember that in civil law, what's at stake is money. Civil law is you being sued by somebody or you suing somebody to get money or to get some kind of redress to your situation. Criminal law deals with you violating a law of the United States involving something that's a crime, and you face either fines or jail time. And there's a big difference between criminal law, committing a crime, and civil law, breaking a law that affects somebody but does not reach the level of a crime. I say something nasty about you that's not true, I libel you, I can't go to jail for libel, but I can be sued by you and have to pay you back money. I think hopefully by now you guys know the difference between civil and criminal law. One of the things we talked about is the difference between a civil court and a criminal court. And in a criminal court, the prosecution has to prove the guilt of the guilty party. And they have to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt, okay? Not beyond the shadow of a doubt way up here, okay? They're not saying that you have to be 99 and 9/10% sure that the person is guilty. They're saying you have to be, I hate to put a number on it, but about 90% sure that the person is guilty. And that's a pretty high bar to meet. And that's why many criminal defendants get off, is because the prosecution was not able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the person was guilty. In civil cases, it's very different. In civil cases, the plaintiff, the person bringing the suit, has to prove that a preponderance of the evidence suggests that the person was guilty. And preponderance basically means majority. So you have to be about 51% sure to find somebody guilty in a civil case. Notice that big difference. Criminal cases, 90-some% sure that they're guilty. Civil cases, about 50% sure that they're guilty. That's a big difference. Why do I want you to know the difference between civil and criminal cases? Because one of the most important things in either of them is the defense attorney. Basically, you have two competing parties in any one of these courts, right? You have a prosecution or a plaintiff, and in either case, a defendant, a person who is defending themselves against the accusations brought in the court. I will tell you all day that I think defense attorneys are the most important part of our entire judicial system. Prosecution is basically going to happen no matter what, okay? The state is going to find a way to bring a case no matter what. Great defense attorneys, though, are really hard to find. And great defense attorneys are really integral to our system of justice, where the burden of proof is on the prosecution, the burden of proof is on the government to bring a case. But your defense attorney's job is to make sure that the government really has proven their case. Even if that attorney thinks you're guilty, their job is to vigorously, competently defend you. And that is something you are absolutely entitled to in our system of government, is a vigorous and competent defense. So, as you watch the Avengers, I want you to be thinking about two things: a civil case and a criminal case. Let's start with the criminal case first. The big criminal, the big bad guy in this movie is Loki, the Asgardian god of mischief. Okay? I want you to think about what crimes Loki could be charged with, how the government would prosecute Loki, and then finally I want you to be the defense attorney. And I want you to tell me, how would you defend Loki? When somebody has done something very bad and very public, how do you defend that person? Okay? I want you to think about what your defense strategy would be to defend Loki against the prosecution for destroying New York. Okay? Second, civil cases. Lots of property gets damaged in this movie. As you watch the movie, you should be keeping notes about every bit of property you see get damaged by someone. Okay? And then I want you to put yourself in the shoes of either a plaintiff's attorney or a defense attorney. What if your apartment was one of the ones crushed by giant metal space snakes that came out of a hole in the sky? And you tried to file a claim on your insurance, and your insurance said, hey, you're going to have to sue whoever was responsible. Who would you sue? And what would your case be? Conversely, I would ask you, be the defense attorney for whomever you believe the responsible party was. Were the Avengers responsible for the destruction in New York, or was Loki alone responsible for the destruction in New York? Think about who the plaintiff would go after and why and how, and think about how you would defend those people that you're accusing. How would you defend them? So those are the things I want you thinking about as you watch the Avengers. I love the first Avengers movie. I love it more than the second one, honestly. I didn't like Age of Ultron that much, but I love the first Avengers movie. So I wish I was there watching this with you guys, but I'm not. I'm really hoping to get in one of these mornings to see you all before the year is up. But I hope you have some fun with this movie, and I hope you have some fun with the questions. Good luck, and if you have questions, tweet me or email me. Bye.